opportunities not otherwise available to students in our public schools. Speaking on behalf of the Foundation Board of Directors is Diane Wilkinson, the principal at the Slamex Career and Leadership Academy. Diane?
Facing this dreaded night, I wanted to take a moment and actually look at you guys before I got here. And, you know, for my mom and dad and the ladies in my book club, they are not going to believe that I'm actually at Proctor speaking. So if you'll enjoy it, just indulge me. You guys can just kind of lean in. All right, hang tight. Here we go. All right. Yeah, and make sure, don't close your eyes. Okay, eyes wide open. Cheese. All right. Not too bad. And keep in mind, you know, we are all part of the Schenectady family, and with any family portrait, you always have your serious picture, and now it's time for the goofy one. All right, so now, and make sure, Ann, you did close your eyes on that last one, so if you can keep it up, and okay, funny face, cheese. Oh, you guys are awesome. Well, anyway, thank you for the introduction, John. I'm here speaking on behalf of Schenectady Foundation. Quick snapshot of history. I've been in the district over 20 years, originally at Oneida Middle School as a technology teacher. And then for approximately 10 years I was an instructional technology specialist and self-titled SHP, She Helps People. Shout out to Carrie Petrozola to this day. She still calls some form of She Helps People. Just last week she helps people at Steinman, so very appropriate. Jerry Chapman, you were second on the SHP, keeping that rolling. I'm currently now principal over at Steinman's Career and Leadership Academy, and now, given the opportunity to speak to you about the Schenectady Foundation, I know their sole purpose, and if you think about it, their sole purpose is to fundraise monies to give back to our kids through you guys. They give you opportunities to write grants. I know within my own building, I have several teachers. Deb Katz wrote a grant for digital microscopes. Totally awesome. We had Kristen Mikett write for book bags. We had Lori Kelly write for a business dinner so we can get our kids dressed up and take them out to a real dinner and not something that ended in the word buffet. So it was something very meaningful. And what we've been able to do, thanks to John, is have an opportunity to do a payroll deduction of as little as $1 per paycheck. And I know if I came up to you around pay time and I asked you for $1, odds are you might give it to me. You know, I might have to bribe you a little bit, but odds are you might. And so here's a way that we know that this money is going to go into the Schenectady Foundation and it's going to ultimately come back to you, almost as seed money, as ideas. Sue Olakowski, good segue. She wrote a grant too. It was about plants in the classroom. Seed money, literally, in that case. So when you think about it, $1, it's not a lot. It's a little bit, and I learned about 6 years ago, little things do make a difference. We had speeches about how making a difference and what we can do. Little things count. And so I just have one story for you before I turn it over to Juliet. I used to live in Pattersonville. And Pattersonville is about 15 minutes away. You drive along Route 5S and then it turns into 890, where I would drive through Rotterdam Junction and whatnot. Well, there used to be this guy who used to stand at the end of his driveway. He was an elderly man, and he'd stand there with his dog. And the first time, he's still there, Juliet, he's still there. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So he's standing there, and then when I first saw him, I used to think to myself, man, oh man, he's really miserable. Look at he's unhappy, and my inside thoughts in my mind were like, the weather's not good, maybe you should go in. And this happened for years, and obviously it still happened. And on the way back, he'd still be there. And this happened for years, and after a while, I kind of began to not really notice him. And then at one point in my life, I was reading one of those self-help books, Fred Factor, and it talked about being extraordinary and exceptional. And so for whatever reason, on one morning, as I'm driving to work, I just kind of go like this. I wave. He literally explodes with excitement, starts waving to me, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror like I'm on the Love Boat and he's a Boy Voyage wave. I mean, he's going crazy, and I'm like, Diane, what you haven't been waving to him. That's all he ever wanted. And so it commenced our relationship of waving. I have a red Volkswagen Bug, so I'd open up the top and I'd be waving through the ceiling, and I'd be waving out the window. Honked my horn once, the dog went nuts. Note to self, don't honk, okay? And so we have this amazing wave relationship, and you think the story ends there, but it doesn't. That's the cool part. I hurt my knee, and I was over at the medical arts building, and I was getting some heat put on my knee, and I'm on this little table, and across the way, I see the guy on the shoulder machine. I'm like, oh my God, there's the guy that I wave to every day for work. And beeline, I'm like staring him down, making sure I don't lose sight of him. And sure enough, as soon as he gets down, I'm like, you little red Volkswagen Bug, little red Volkswagen. And he comes on over, and his name was John. His dog's name was Blackie. And he had to go, and we only talked for a little bit, but this was the part that was compelling. He said to me, I need you to know that every day you wave to me, it makes a difference in my day. And it's not often that you get a chance to really understand the true impact of how you make a difference with little things. And then I started to reflect on those moments that I was waving to him, and he's telling me that I made a difference in his day, when in all actuality, he was also making a difference in my day. I was on my way to work. I was ready to go. I'm waving, I'm trying to think of clever ways to do things and wave to him. And so it's when you understand that the little things do make a difference, it's phenomenal. I mean, I'm on this amazing stage. I didn't have speaking at Proctor's on my bucket list, but it totally is now. Check. And I saw Aretha Franklin up there. She's speaking and she was singing and whatnot. But to tell you, the most amazing thing I saw here at Proctor's did happen in June. One of my students graduated. I got a chance to see Amia. The cool thing about Amia, 20 years old, 2 kids. And if you were to talk to her, she would tell you how she made it is because teachers did not give up on her. They gave her hope. And so I ask you, the little things, certainly pay attention to the little things. On behalf of the Schenectady Foundation, maybe we can make a promise. For all the kids like Amia, is a buck and a wave. All right? Thank you very much.
I want to end by first off thanking in a very special way our junior ROTC students.